video, I'm going to be eating Taiwanese breakfast food for 24 hours. Yes, Taiwanese breakfast is world famous. There are hundreds, maybe thousands of breakfast shops up and down the country serving some absolutely delicious Taiwanese breakfast cuisine. Therefore, in today's video, I'm going to try and share with you as many as possible in 24 hours.
That's awesome!
And if I make it to the end of the day without quitting, I'm going to be facing my arch nemesis breakfast. I'm going to be eating salty Doujiang, Shentojang for the first time in 14 years. So make sure you watch to the end of the video to see that. But first, I'm going to get inside this super traditional Zhaodian and order an incredibly traditional breakfast for the first time. Okay, so I promised you 24 hours of traditional Taiwanese breakfast, and you cannot get much more traditional than Wagui. I'm sure my pronunciation is off. And this is the first time I'm eating this incredibly traditional Taiwanese breakfast. It's made from sticky rice, big chunks of pork, and what I'm told is hai bo, which I have absolutely no idea what it is. Looks a little bit scary, but I'm sure it's going to be delicious. It's like mashed potato. The meat is incredibly tender, really soft. Apparently the tai po is a type of radish, a daikon radish, but it's really crunchy. But the flavor is incredibly strong, much stronger than the flavor of the sauce and the sticky rice. 10 out of 10 for de Wagui. And as a backup food, I went for a little bit of traditional dumping. You've seen me eat dumping 1,000 times on this channel before, but this one's a little bit different. The pea, the dumping pea, is made here by Ama, and I've gone for a roe pie, 2-row filling. Really good dumping. The one thing with dumping, every restaurant you go to has a slightly different way of doing it. This one, because Ama makes it herself, seems to be a little more smooth, a little bit more traditional, and definitely goes down much easier. As I said, we're going to be eating breakfast foods all day today, so I don't want to eat too much here. Let's get onto the bike, on to the next place. So yes, a super successful breakfast at Zhaodian, and as mentioned, I'm getting around the city on the bike today. So for those of you worried about my calorie intake, don't worry, I am expending some calories as well as taking in probably a few thousand today. And the next breakfast food we've come for is an absolute classic. It is a Taiwanese Sauping, sometimes filled with youtiao, sometimes filled with beef. I've gone for a classic breakfast option of bacon, cheese, and egg. Crispy and flaky on the outside, meaty and salty on the inside. An absolutely perfect Taiwanese breakfast item. Just look at the mess we made. Oopsie. Okay, so health update number one. I'm going to try and keep you updated during the day as to how I feel. And so far we've eaten a Wagui, a Sauping, a Dumping, Liangbei Hongta, and it's not even 11 o'clock yet. But I'm feeling pretty good. Not incredibly full. I'm trying my best to eat slowly and carefully when I am eating. But yeah, I'll keep you updated as we go throughout the day as to how I feel. But yeah, so far so good. Taiwanese breakfast foods for the win. And there's a rather pretty girl crossing the street. Life is good. Any Taiwanese breakfast video would not be complete without a visit to 7-Eleven, so I've gone for the traditional, most easy, most convenient of breakfast foods from 7-Eleven, a Fantuan. But interestingly, I don't eat it the same way you guys eat it. I will peel it open along the back here, leave the seagrass inside, and slide out the rice because I'm not a fan of the seagrass. My favorite filling of a Fantuan is the salmon with salmon roe. Nice, juicy, meaty filling with some nice, sticky, fluffy rice surrounding it. And for those of you worried about me wasting the seagrass, that goes in the old skyrocket, and we give that to a friend later. 谢谢。And for lunch, if we can call it lunch, I've come for one of my favorite dishes, which is a porridge, and I've come to Zhou to try it. Again, porridge is something that I've eaten often on my channel before, so it won't take too long. Wow, and it's absolutely packed full. Just look at that, 4 or 5 oysters on 1 spoon. Absolutely perfect. But the main reason I've come to this restaurant is because they've got these huge pieces of Savoury. My God, really soft, juicy, tender meat with a really crunchy, crispy outer coating. Add a little bit of kimchi, pao tai. That is heaven. Oh my God, breakfast heaven. Time to take a quick break from the eating for today and thank today's video sponsor, Skillshare, which is an online learning platform with thousands of inspiring classes, perfect for anybody that wants to explore their creative side and develop new skills. So if you are looking to learn some new skills in order to prepare yourself for a full career change, or like me, you just want to learn a couple of new skills to add to your existing lifestyle or career, then Skillshare is for you. Over the past few months with Skillshare, I've completed a video editing course. I've learned how to complete a Rubik's Cube, which is something I've always wanted to do. I've added some awesome magic tricks to my entertainment repertoire, and most recently have been taking Hai Yin Yang's class that focuses on the perfect pronunciation of the tones of Chinese, and I really feel like I've improved a lot just in the past month of taking her class. She's a very gentle, softly spoken teacher, and because of the way Skillshare works, I was able to try several different classes on Chinese tones pronunciation before I found the teacher that was perfect for me. I can highly recommend her class to any foreigners watching that want to get those Chinese tones absolutely perfect before going on to pick up all of the bad habits of Chinese that I've done over the past 14 years. And as Skillshare are offering the first 1,000 people to sign up using my link in the description below an absolutely free month, there's absolutely no risk to you if you want to give it a try and learn a new skill. Because as we all know very well, 活到老，学到老, so go check it out. Go join some classes and let's make 2022 a year of new learning, growth and development through creativity. Anyway, thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring the video, and just to get back on topic and talk a little bit about my feelings towards this breakfast food, I am absolutely loving it so far. Of course, I'm getting a little bit full, but Taiwanese breakfast restaurant options are so full and varied. There's so many different things to eat for breakfast here in Taiwan that I'm having absolutely no problem not getting bored at all, and of course having no trouble finding breakfast shops open, as many of the breakfast restaurants in Taiwan are open 24 hours. Maybe I would struggle in a Western country to find breakfast restaurants, but not here in Taiwan. So with that being said, back to the food. Okay, so as I was making my way to the next location, I happened to pass by this stall, this stand selling Floorboard Bing, which is something that I've seen on many breakfast lists online when doing research, but something I've never eaten before. So I ordered one from the boss. We had a really nice conversation.
比我家的小孩讲台语还标准。
Oh, 真的? And then he told me he would treat me, wouldn't let me pay.
我请你，
不用，不用，不用，真的不用。
我请那个，不要请4个。没关系，没关系，没关系。好，
你对我太好，谢谢。
不会哈，来，你坐在这边旁边。
Oh my god. So if you're ever in the area, make sure you come check out their Floorboard Bing. I hope it's good. Oh wow. Not what I was expecting at all, but really good. Oh my god. Look at that. This reminds me of a samosa, an Indian samosa. It's not a triangle, but it's actually a bigger, meatier, more packed full version, Taiwanese version of an Indian samosa. Absolutely delicious, and I think it qualifies as breakfast food. Okay, and for the next breakfast food of the day, we have come to very popular breakfast store, Doujiang. I've been here before. I'm not sure if I've had this dish, but what I really want to share with you is this this Leek Pie. Now, ordinarily, I would order a lot more food when I come here, but because I'm eating so much today, I'm going to just have one dish, and of course, cover it in nice, thick, sticky soy sauce. Just look inside there. Hot, steaming ingredients. Leek, spring onion, I think. Maybe a little bit of coriander, cilantro, egg, spices. And some of them will come with shrimp inside, but I'm not sure this one does. Let's get stuck in. There is definitely some baby shrimp in there and also some vermicelli noodles. Maybe a little bit of tofu and pork. If it's a mixture of ingredients you're looking for, then this is a dish for you. As well as that mixture of ingredients, it's also got that really good mixture of textures. There's soft, chewy, crispy, crunchy, absolutely delicious. The outer skin, really salty, really goes well with the Doujiang, which reminds me, we're gonna get some takeaway and go eat some breakfast in the park. So yes, after the saltiness of the Jiucai Herzi, it's time to balance it out with a little bit of sweetness, which means you've seen me drink it many times before on the channel. Doujiang soybean milk, absolutely delicious, perfect breakfast food. And if we can get it wide open, it's gonna bring me on to another food that perfectly accompanies it. Dun, 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 dun. Everybody's favorite breakfast food, a nice, long, crunchy, crispy youtiao, which we soften up a little bit by dunking it into the milk. Absolute breakfast heaven. Just listen to that crunch. So that is the youtiao and the doujiang. Talking of which, doujiang is not the only breakfast drink available here in Taiwan. Let's have a look at some others. My milk tea doesn't have a straw. Can't believe I have to do this. I'm sure there are better, more fresher milk teas than these cartons, but super convenient, super cheap, and super good to drink. And talking of Taiwanese drinks that are good to drink for breakfast, one thing I always keep in my fridge and like to drink every morning is a Yakult. Not made in Taiwan, but very popular here and very sweet. Best not to open it with one hand. Anyway, on to the next drink, which is going to be a straightforward, simple iced black tea. So good. Icy and sweet. Perfect for a Taiwanese breakfast. Just because it's nighttime in Taiwan doesn't mean there's no breakfast, and we are going for probably the scariest food that I'm going to be eating today. That looks like vomit. It's a breakfast food that I've never eaten before, but when doing a bit of research on local breakfast foods, this kept popping up over and over again, so I thought I've got to go for it. This is Shentojang. And I have to say, very honestly, it looks a little bit like puke. I'm absolutely petrified. There's some youtiao, some seaweed on the top, and what looks like tofu, I guess. Anyway, here goes. Fuck. Oh, not bad. It's like egg. The way this looks compared to how it tastes is such a difference. That was so scary. I wouldn't eat that if I was not making a video, but actually, habitua. And this one's a little bit different. It does have a little bit of seagrass. I think this restaurant has a Japanese influence, so maybe that's something extra that you wouldn't normally get in most Taiwanese restaurants. But yeah, so far so good. And for the second dish at this restaurant, I did buy a backup in case I didn't like the Shentojang. Actually, it wasn't too bad, but I'm gonna chase the Shentojang with a very traditional shui jianbao. Full of hot, steamy, crispy vegetables and peppers and spices. Yummy. And with that, it's time to wrap this video up and talk about how I feel after eating Taiwanese breakfast for 24 hours, and I feel absolutely fine. Like I said earlier, the variety of foods on offer for breakfast here in Taiwan are so wide and varied that it doesn't actually feel like you're eating the same thing all day. It's very carb heavy, so I do feel a little bit heavy in my stomach, but no more than I would have done if I've been eating foreign foods or lunch foods or dinner foods. So yes, that's it. That's the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any other ideas of foods you want to see me eating for 24 hours, then comment down below. And of course, don't forget to go check out that Skillshare link in the description down below. But time for me to say goodbye, wrap this video up. So thanks for watching. As for now, as always, I'll see you next time in My Life in Taiwan. Peace.